My name is Nausheen Dadabahoy. I'm a cinematographer, and I worked on the HBO pilot Lenny. It's a series of 5 short documentaries, and they're all based off of Lena Dunham and Jenny Connor's Lenny Letters, which is, stories for women, by women, about women, just women-centric subject matter. The short doc that I worked on is about an all-women's, Muslim women's hair salon. And they're usually women that cover their hair. And so we had to think of a creative way to film inside this space where we would never see a woman without her hair cover, but would still be able to connect with her as a person and, shoot a verite style documentary without ever seeing an entire person. There were certain people in the salon we could show. So we could show the people that were actually, doing the women's hair. So maybe, using a swing and shift lens where you obscure half the frame at the bottom. So you don't see the person sitting in the chair, but you see the person doing the hair. We did a lot of stuff with close-ups where we would see just somebody's mouth or their eyes, playing around with reflections, maybe just seeing half of somebody in a reflection. We had diopters, so we could shoot wide shots, but have really shallow depth of field. So we'd have some idea to get an give the audience a way to orient themselves in space without actually showing the space. Because it's an all women's hair salon, there's no men allowed inside. They're on the basement level of a building, and there's there were windows really far away that were really heavily tinted. So it's basically completely dark in there. And what the lighting that they did have, the available light was all these overhead compact fluorescents. So I was very lucky. I was in Chicago for another job, and I got to scout the location, and I was like, okay, this is not gonna work. And we had a day to prep, and we switched out all the overheads. We used we switched them to incandescent globes. I was able to do it so that it wasn't just a flat, even light. I could mix it up and have patches where you could have some shape to the lighting, so it was not just a strong overhead. We shot on the ARRI, and it was my first time using that camera. I've used the Alexa many times, but we were shooting a lot of, it was verite, we were shooting a lot of handheld, and it's a documentary, so we're running sound into camera, and the ARRI just suited us really well for that. A lot of my work is based on showcasing stories about women of color, and then my own community, which is the Muslim community or the South Asian community. And I was really lucky in this project that the producer was also a woman of color. The director was, she's Algerian Muslim. And so it was really a story from the community told by the community. And for me, that's always what I've been striving for, is to be able to help represent the place where I come from. When I do talk to young filmmakers, especially young women who have reached out to me and they're I want to be a DP, it's just the hardest thing is there's so many people telling you no, and there's so many people telling you you can't do this or you shouldn't do this, and you just have to have this unending well in yourself that you're going to succeed, and you just have to keep going. And the amazing thing is you do find partners and directors and producers, and then also in companies like ARRI, and all of those relationships help you keep going, and they're people that believe in you. And so the well doesn't have to completely come from you, but a lot of it does. And then you see people like Rachel, reach those goals. So it'll happen.